Guys, Mitchell here. I am going to be doing some guitar lessons with all of this craziness that's going on right now. I'm going to try to keep them brief, to the point, sort of going over the basics with a little bit of advanced and intermediate stuff thrown in. So without further ado, let's talk about the guitar real quick, some of the basics, and then hopefully get into some chords. So I got right here my acoustic guitar. This is one I got from my parents. Whew. Back when I graduated high school. It's a long time ago, and it's a guitar that served me well ever since then, and it's been around the world with me. And yeah, so basics. We've got up top, we've got the head, we've got the neck, we've got the body, we've got the bridge here, we've got the nuts, the nut here, the tuning pegs here. We got the sound hole. It's gonna make all the beautifulness going on. Mine also has plug-in right here for the internal pickup that I have inside the guitar, so I can plug it into an amplifier, sound system, stuff like that. More basics, we've got the lowest string here on the top of the guitar, and the highest string is on the bottom of the guitar. So already backwards, we got lowest and highest. Also, whenever you're playing the guitar, we will talk about things like moving up the neck or down the neck. While we're going up the neck, making the sounds higher, we're going to go this way, kind of backwards. When we say down the neck, we're going that way. I know, confusing, backwards. Anyway, more backwards to come. This bottom string right here, the high E, that's string 1. Then we've got string 2, which is the B. 3 is the G. 4 is the D, 5 is the A, and lastly we have string 6, which is the low E. Got it? That's a lot of stuff to remember. That's okay. We can rewatch this again. Now, very basic parts of the guitar. It is a stringed instrument. Sound is made by the vibration of the strings. You control that sound by controlling how long or short those vibrations are, really how low or how high those sounds are. And we use our fingers on these things right here called the frets. My left hand will be pushing down the string in between the fretboards, and my right hand will be plucking the strings. So I said earlier we're moving up the neck. Looks kind of backwards, but you're going to get a higher sound. So if I start here on my 6th string, the E, and then I go up, as I go up the neck, the sound gets higher. As I go back down the neck, the sound gets lower. Pretty simple standard stuff, but that's not kind of what we're here. We want to talk about some chords really quickly. We've got 3 very main chords in a lot of music. Well, technically speaking, there are 4 chords in most music, sometimes 5 or 6, but we're not going to get into that right now. I'm just going to teach you 3 chords today. We're going to start with the G chord, then we're going to go to the C chord, and then we're going to go to the D chord. I'll explain why those are important in a little bit, but first let's look at the G chord. So we've got our frets. We're going to number them starting here. This is 1, 2, 3, so on and so forth. And remember, this is your 6th string all the way down to your 1st string. So I'm going to take my 2nd finger. I'm going to number these, of course, 1, 2, 3, 4. The thumb kind of sort of hangs out on the back of the neck. Doesn't really do too much. I'm going to take my 1. That's going to go on the 2nd fret of the 5th string. That's your A string. My 2 is going to go down on the 3rd fret of the 6th string, which is your E. Starting it. Alright. Then I'm going to take my 3. I'm going to stick it right here on the end. So it'll be the 3rd fret of the 1st string. So sort of these 2 are on the 3rd fret, and this one's on the 2nd fret. That's going to be your G chord. It's going to take a lot of time to get it to sound like that. You're going to develop calluses on your fingers. Mine have kind of gone away because I haven't played guitar that much, but that's okay. It just comes with the territory. So that is your G. Again, that is your 1 on the 2nd fret of the 5th string, your 2 on the 3rd fret of the 6th string, and your 3, which is on the 3rd fret, of the 1st string. And that would be your 1 chord for the key of G. Next we're going to do the 4 chord, which is C. So I'm going to take my index finger, my 1, I'll put it on the 1st fret of the 2nd string. My 2 is going to come around to the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, or the 4th string rather. And my 3 is going to come around to the 3rd fret of the 5th string. That's C. Again, that's 1 on the 1st fret of 2, 2 on the 2nd fret of 4, and 3 on the 3rd fret of 5. Got it? So we've got G, then we've got C, and then one last one, which is D. So I'm going to have these 2 fingers right here that are going to be on the 2nd fret. The first is going to be on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, which is the G. The 2 is going to be on the 3rd fret of the 1st string, and the 3 is going to be on the 3rd fret right in between them on the 2nd string. And for this one, you only need to play the bottom 4 strings, so these 2 are not going to play. So that one sounds like this. And there you have it. You've got your G chord, your C chord, and your D chord. And that's it. So if you need to replay those parts again, do so. There's some great apps that will help you with this. Guitar Tuna, one that's right off the top of my head, really good about the types of chords that they show. They'll help you tune your guitar, which is great. There's a lot of apps that help you with that. There's also some games that will help with your memory of those first 3 chords, your G chord, your C chord, and your D chord. But let's talk really, really quickly about what parts they play. So G, that is your root chord, your tonic of the key of G, which is what we're playing right now in the key of G. Your C chord is your 4 chord, your subdominant chord, and then the D chord is your dominant chord, your 5 chord. Most music is built around the 1, the 4, the 5, and I know I'm using some different fingerings right here. Don't pay attention to my hands. Well, I mean, I guess you can pay attention to my hands if you want to, but that's okay. So you've got your tonic, which is the home of the key. Then you've got your subdominant, your 4, and then your 5, back down to the 1. And you will find those sort of similar structures in all keys. In a lot of the popular music today, there's usually just the 1, the 4, the 5, and then sometimes the 6, or sometimes the 2 or the 3 if they're feeling kind of funky. Really funky if they're using the 7. But you're really only going to have those first 3 and then a couple others, usually the minors, because all the chords I showed you today, the G, the C, and the D, those are all major chords in the major key of G. So one more time on the chords, we've got G, which is 3, 2, open, 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 3, and then we've got C, which is 3, 2, open, 1, open, and then D, which is open, 2, 3, 2. And when I say open, that means that those strings are just playing. You don't have to push anything down on them. All right. Hopefully that makes sense. I know I talked kind of fast. I know I threw a lot of stuff out there. I'll try to be doing these every weekend, hopefully with a little bit better of a setup, maybe a little bit more information for y'all. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comments, and y'all have a good weekend.